Alright boys, welcome back to another video. Today we are doing something different on the channel that I've never done before. We're going to be doing a tier list. What we're going to be doing with this tier list is just ranking the CK3 DLC. This is for 1,000 subscriber boys, and I will be doing the multiplayer lobby soon. I am going to do a poll on it on where to play and what time we should do it roughly. So if you guys do want to participate in the multiplayer lobby, just make sure to vote on that poll and just text on there. I am going to set up a Discord for it. But let's jump right into the rankings. And first, I just want to say, how am I going to rank these DLCs? Some of them are different, like Northern Lords is a flavor pack compared to Tours and Tournaments, which is an expansion. So what I'm really gonna do is just look over how Steam, the community, ranked them, and my own personal play experience with them. If you guys are wondering, I do have 1,000 hours on CK3. I will post it on the screen right now. So I think I do have some shit to say about, you know, like how I feel about the game and all. Also, while I talk about these DLCs, I will switch to the game down here and just play it too as well. But let's just jump right into the video now and discuss Northern Lords, the first DLC that did come out. I am going to do it in chronological order in case you guys are wondering. But yeah, Northern Lords, first DLC that came out. It has mixed reviews on Steam, believe it or not. I think it's one of the better ones. It is just a flavor pack. It costs $13. And right now, boys, actually all the DLCs are on sale. So if you've been thinking of getting DLCs, now is the time. But yeah, it's just a flavor pack. It pretty much overhauls the Vikings like crazy. I mean, like it adds new special events, Varangian adventures, as well as Northmen army invasions. It's super fun. A lot of people say it should just be part of the game already. Now, I am going to check it out. I do say this DLC is centered mostly around the 867 start date, though. As you can tell, here's a Rur kid over here. Then we also have Vikings all over here over this start date. For example, let me just start as Ivar the Boneless, and let me show his situation off real quick. We do start in the Sons of Lodbrok invasion of England. It's where you pretty much claim Northumbria and East Anglia. I think there is a lot of flavor to this pack, especially, I mean, it is a flavor pack, but it pretty much overhauls the whole region. You also could form the Yorms Viking. Here we are in the game though. Here's just some of the special things you can be. I am Ivar the Boneless. You can get the Viking Raider trait, which is awesome. Just look at those benefits. Here's the war I am talking about, where you claim Northumbria and East Anglia for yourselves. I think I covered it before, but the new men-at-arms this adds is ridiculous. Varangian Veterans is probably some of the best men-at-arms in the game, and the Norse culture is just very good overall. I mean, look at all those special units, and not only that, it just adds like the most like replayability. For such a flavor pack, it has so much replayability. If I wanted to, I have a video on it if you guys want to check out. It's one of my older videos, so it's not really as good as my newer ones, but I literally play as Hastings, and you can go all the way to India and form your own kingdom, diverge cultures. It's very fun. I highly recommend this DLC. Here, let me exit off the game now and get back to the tier list. Yeah, but I highly recommend Northern Lords. A lot of people say, like I said, it should be in the game already, so that's how you know it's a goated DLC. And for it being a flavor pack and only $13, I'm gonna put it at S tier. As people said, it should be part of the game. If you say that about a DLC, then it's very good in my opinion. Next on the list, Royal Court. It was the second DLC technically released. It has mixed reviews on Steam, and in its expansion, it costs $30, unlike the flavor pack Northern Lords that cost about $13. I am gonna go back to the game to show off more of the things it added. I'm gonna load into my India game too to show this one off a lot. Yeah, boys, but Royal Court added a bunch of things. Most importantly, the courtroom. It also brought in court artifacts that you could display around the courtroom. I do love court artifacts, and I love the fact that they brought in that you can refund court artifacts. I'm pretty sure in the beginning of the game they did not have this, but now you can, so it makes it very useful in case you are drowning in court artifacts and you just don't want to keep repairing them. Also, I believe this DLC brought in court positions, which is very nice. I do love court positions. In the beginning where it first came out, they didn't have this right here, the special little tasks it could do, but now they're adding more to the court positions, more little tasks. Court musicians now have tasks. They added in a court chronicler with the new DLC Legends of the Dead. So I do love how they do come back and add more stuff to pre-existing DLCs they have added to the game. Super dope. My biggest fucking complaint though about this DLC is this button right here, Court Grander. Boys, this shit is hell. As you could tell, I'm already paying 33.7, all right? And I'm not even at the max level. If I were to switch up to the max level and try to get to 10 right now, it would cost me 45 ducats a month, counting the court positions that I am paying. So if it's at 45 and I'm already paying 16 for court positions, it would be 61 ducats all overall, boys, which in my opinion is just crazy. Also, for the court types, a lot of people don't mess around with this because it is linked sort of to your culture, so it is kind of hard. Honestly, if I had to switch it, I'll switch to administrative court. Like, it does give you tons of benefits for sure. Court languages, a lot of people look over that as well. Not really a big thing at all. In the beginning of the game, it was bugged to where everyone wanted to be Arabic because it gave the most benefits, but now it doesn't really matter. With all that being said, though, I do like the little events it add. I do wish it made you hold court more if you were a leader, because I will never touch the hold court button. It is very overlooked, just like the court language is overlooked. And if something is overlooked in a DLC, in my opinion, that's kind of shit, and they should go back and upgrade it. So for all that being said, I can't put Royal Court or S at A, because it does have 3 things I don't like about it. The court amenity scales too harshly. Languages are overlooked. So is actually summoning your vassals. If you're a vassal and you go to your lord, that is super good. So being a vassal isn't bad. I'll put it at a good B tier. Sometimes I feel like you guys rank a little too harshly, and you have to look at it overall. Also, this was $30 compared to this one, so I'm gonna put money in consideration. So honestly, since I'm putting money in consideration, I am gonna drop it to C, because it is $30 compared to Northern Lords that is just 13. All right, boys, next on a chopping block is Fate of Iberia. This also has mixed reviews on Steam. Overall, it is just a flavor pack, and it costs $13. And boys, just like with Northern Lords, it completely overhauls Iberia. I'm gonna start loading in the game now, but they literally gave like a whole start position to it. It's super sick. I'm gonna load in now just as Navarra. They added 2 special religions in Mozam Arabic. I really don't know how to pronounce that. Mozam Arabic. You guys know what I'm trying to say. But also the special Basque religion you can form. This was also the first DLC to add in the struggle mechanic. Legacy of Persia also added in, but I think honestly this one did do it better. In the beginning of the game, when this DLC first released, it was very hard to actually end the struggle. You had to meet a bunch of requirements, but now they did go back and fix it, and you can end the struggle after owning all of Iberia. You don't have to wait for all the requirements like before. It was kind of annoying, honestly. Yeah, I like how they added this little screen before. It gives you a nice little rundown of what the Iberian struggle pretty much is. Like I said, here it is: unite the Spanish thrones. We can also become champion the faith of the county of the Basque. This is where you pretty much get your own religion. So you pretty much get this religion, you get a nickname. It's super cool. Also, if you guys don't know this, with the Legacy of Persia, they added in the clan system, and the Muslims over here do get it as well. So it doesn't just affect the Persians, it's with all Muslims across the world. So it's super cool. This was a flavor pack, and honestly, I like it a lot. It adds in cool new special units. It makes Iberia very unique. The struggle phases really do affect when you do want to fight. You really want to fight when you can get the struggle clash off. In case you guys are wondering, we do not have it right now, I do believe. Let me just check around. No, we do have it. See where the struggle clash is very good. It helps out a lot. I honestly really like this DLC. I have nothing bad to say about it. In the beginning, like I said, the endings were annoying. It was very hard to get dominance, because you had to wait for the certain phases to go off, but now it's past that. You could just do it when you hold everything. So the fact that they come back and did fix the DLC, I feel like Paradox is very bad at good releases for DLCs, but then they go back and fix them and make them all right. But I do like Fate of Iberia, boys. I really did like Fate of Iberia. I'm gonna have to put it at A, I think. It's not quite Northern Lords. Northern Lords, they for sure had a hard on for. I don't know if it's because the company is Swedish, but they did very good on Northern Lords. All right, boys, now on to Friends and Foes. Honestly, this is the first mostly negative review out of all of them yet. It's only an event pack, boys, so I think you guys need to chill the fuck out. Like I said, it cost only $5. I do feel like it was judged too harshly. After all, it only did add new events to the game involving friends and rivals. So it's based off the relationships you form with other characters in the game. Also, I believe this added house feuds. I'm not too sure if you guys want to correct me on that, but it added house feuds, which isn't too bad. For an event pack that's $5, I cannot put it in D tier. I feel like that's way too rough. But honestly, I had to go with the community vote. I think it should get C, but for you guys, I'll put it in D. I don't think it was that bad, but who knows. Next on our list is Tours and Tournaments. This is our first mostly positive reviewed one on Steam, which is pretty exciting since everything else has been mostly mixed or terrible. It does cost $30. It adds a tons of new events and even goes back and expands upon old events like Hunts and Feast. I'm gonna go off and show them off in game, but I'm gonna rank it first before I do. I'm gonna put it at B tier, and you guys may be like, what the fuck? It's the highest ranking one. Let me explain in game real quick. So we're still playing the Spanish game, but these things scale hard, very hard. A hunt should not be 230. You're only making 1.1, and I'm a king in the beginning right now, by the way. Now, obviously, if you're playing tall later in the game, like in my India game, it's not too bad, especially if you pick up the Dynasty Legacy trait. Yeah, right here, Hunt and Feast cost. That's good. But Tours and Tournaments, let's be honest. Let's see which ones you guys honestly use. I pump out Feast. Feast are, in my opinion, are broken overpowered. If you use the befriend intent with it, it's like everyone in your kingdom kingdom will become your best fucking friend. I constantly abuse the feast, especially when your leader just dies and you really need everyone to like you so you don't have a rebellion more. Feast is there for you. Hunts, what you do is you honestly just keep pumping them out with the intent of slay beasts until you need the amount of prestige that you're going for. I use it a lot to get to what I need. Pilgrimages, honestly, pretty good. They're not really that broken in my opinion. Most faiths have 5 holy sites, so you just hit the 5 in like a lifetime. You get a special little achievement. You become pretty much a paragon of virtue or whatever it's called. Yeah, religious icon right away. It's not that hard. If you guys watched my India campaign, I did it right away. I pumped out like 4 pilgrimages and got right to it. So the 2 things they expanded on are very good. They kind of broke feasts, but whatever, right? Pilgrimages, they did very good on too. But let's talk about the things they mainly added. Grand tours, grand tournaments, and grand weddings. Now, boys, be honest with me and be fucking dead ass. When's the last time you used a grand wedding? Seriously, when's the last time you've used a grand wedding? I never use grand weddings. They cost way too fucking much, and usually you can get the alliance without hitting grand weddings. Grand weddings are very situational. If you're very small and you need a bigger guy to help you take on another bigger guy, for example, if you're playing as Ascom over here, you can use the grand wedding to get someone of a different faith because you are only Jewish and no one wants the alliance with you. So it's very situational. You really are only using grand weddings if you're fucking like outnumbered as hell and you have nothing else to do. Now for grand tournaments, you only do grand tournaments. You only host one, I should say. You can visiting them are very good if you're a vassal. You mostly will win if you have high prowess or whatever, but hosting one, you literally only host one just for prestige. Just like in my India game again, I threw like 3 or 4 of these just to get quickly to exalted among men. So other than that, there's not a lot of benefits from grand tournaments if you're hosting them. Grand tours, I swear I have not done this since the DLC first dropped. It really doesn't do anything. Yes, it makes your vassals like you a lot more, but at the end of the day, a fucking feast can do that for half the price. So even though people ranked it as one of the highest DLCs, for me, it's just a plain old B. It was good. They do need to go back and fix some things, though, I believe. On to the next DLC, boys. Wards and Wardens. Once again, just an event pack. They didn't shit on this one nearly as bad as you guys shit on Friends and Foes. It is $5, just like the last one. I do like the events they added to it. It's super cool. I believe they added in wet nurses to this one, too. I don't think wet nurses were a thing before, and they added it in. I think they also added in the special event, host your peers, and just a bunch of overall little events for being a child. I'm putting it at D just because it is an event pack. It's only $5. You could play the game without it. I'm pretty much ranking these on how essential they are to the game and overall like community vibe towards them, the price. These are just $5 in my opinion. They add cool events, but honestly, you can live without them, boys. I think you should pick them up, though. Honestly, I think every DLC you guys should pick up. They're not terrible. Just because I'm putting these in D doesn't mean they're terrible. They just don't add a lot to the game, in my opinion. And it is just an event pack. I don't think they should be judged harshly, though, as bad as these guys were. All right, boys, on to Legacy of Persia. Let me load that one up real quick. Let me get out of this Spanish game. Anyway, here's the new start date they added for this new struggle, the Legacy of Persia. They did add a struggle to this. I'll start as this guy over here. This is the guy who, Zoroastrian. And he's also a descendant of the Sassanids. They did add a bunch of awesome flavor to this area, just like Northern Lords and the Iberian struggle. I'm not sure if I said it, but it is just a flavor pack, and it only costs $13, which does help its scoring. Here we are loading into it, just like the Iberian struggle. It gives you a whole little review of what they've added and what you are a part of, which I like a lot. I'm pretty sure they added a bunch of new cultures. I don't remember the Dalamite in the game before, or Syriac. They added a bunch of new cool religions too. Afrodonist, I don't think this was in the game at all. I don't think Zydia was in the game at all. I don't think, maybe Mazadian was, not too sure. I think they did a great job in this DLC, just like they did in Iberian Struggle. I really do like these flavor packs where they really just expand upon one area. I know they said they're really gonna stop doing those for this like quarter of CK3 or whatever, but I like them a lot. Just like with the Iberian Struggle, there are 3 decisions on how to end it. It really evolves around the Abbassids, whether you're gonna destroy them, renew it, or making the Persian Empire instead. It is very cool. I like it a lot. There's one thing though that I do not like about this, is that the Turkic invasion is fucking crazy, guys. It's not like the Northman army where it's like the Northman army says 8,000 men and 7,000 of them will be fucking peasants, and you could destroy them with an army of 3,000 and it'll be a good day after that. With this, guys, guys, these guys come at you fucking hard, and they are not bad troops. They will shit on you. I remember when I was playing in this area for the first release, it was one of my earlier videos, and I brought back Zoroastrianism, pretty much destroyed the Caliphate, did all the decisions. But these guys constantly fucked on me, like ridiculously, and their men are good. They have horse archers. It's not Vikings, boys. But honestly, other than that little annoyance right there, I really think Legacy of Persia was very good. Added so much new flavor to that area, boys. I just love flavor packs. I rank them very high. So I'm putting this one at A too. Super fun. Honestly, the Turkic invasion almost makes me bring it down to B, but it's really not that bad. And I haven't played in the area since release, so maybe they changed a bunch of things about it. But yes, I am ranking Legacy of Persia at A. As you guys could tell, I'm definitely a fan of flavor packs. You could pretty much see that. I have nothing against event packs. I actually really do like event packs. If anything, I think they should be free though. They are just events. Come on, Paradox. Stop trying to fucking grind money out of us, for real. And on to the last DLC just recently released, Legends of the Dead. Now, boys, this one got mostly negative. Technically, it was a core expansion, which is different from everything else here. It did cost $20, so in between of flavor pack and just an expansion pack. This DLC brings in diseases, legitimacy, and of course, legends. Now, I am gonna say this shit right fucking now. Diseases in the beginning were crazy. It was like post-apocalyptic Fallout shit. It destroyed development. They popped up way too frequently. And honestly, I quite wondered how anyone survived if that's how it was in real life. But now, they did just release a patch nerfing diseases, so that's very good. Like I said, they come back and fix the DLC, boys. So I feel like some people rate it harshly in the beginning when they know they're gonna fix it. But honestly, it helps Paradox fix it if we rate them harshly. So, and the more I've been playing, I do feel like diseases are not as bad as they were. Now, for the two other things though, I'm gonna load back into my India game real quick just to show off legitimacy and legends. Okay, so let me load back into that game and I'll show you, boys. And honestly, boys, if I'm being honest, I think you guys did rate Legends of the Dead a little too harshly. It's really not that bad. Once I start talking more about legends and legitimacy, it kind of reinforces the idea that it was kind of bad. I do feel like legitimacy is a little bit annoying, and I'll show you why I think it's a little bit annoying and explain why. I think legends are super cool though. Sometimes they're very broken, overpowered, and then in the beginning when this DLC first came, they would disappear pretty much right away. Like as soon as you ended the legend, it pretty much started disappearing. Alright, here we are loaded into my game. If you guys watched my India campaign, then you'll know that I have done a legend. I think I've done this legend. Let me see. Oh yeah, they also added the legend library, which is pretty cool. I finished this legend 15 years ago, and it is still here. I love the fact that they patched this, and I think it might still be fucking growing. I'm not too sure. Also, boys, when you get your legend to mythical, it's pretty broken. With this legend, I got this special Casus Belli to demand fealty. Everyone pretty much submitted. Not only that, it also added in a bunch of cool decisions. Launch a legendary adventure. Also, it added in clear of sites for a legendary building, which I do have. I just didn't build it in this campaign. It's right here, a legendary statue, just to prove that this DLC did add stuff in. So honestly, legends are cool. I really do like legends. I just feel like maybe that they shouldn't cost as much. As you guys could tell, just to start one up for me right now, it is 21 gold. Then you upgrade it and it's pretty much double and then double again until I pretty much was only making 3 ducats a month while running a legend, and that's too much. I don't think a legend should cost that much, boys, in my opinion. I do maybe feel like the benefits should be nerfed a little bit. For example, my army gold maintenance is down by 10 and up by 25. That is very, very sick. Right here too, plus 20%. But I also, at the same time, I love the fact that they kind of added in the demand fealty thing. It's sick. Like, they should add things in like that. Just don't make it so ridiculously crazy with the benefits. So I don't think they did a bad job on legends. Legitimacy though, as you could tell, guys, I formed the fucking Empire of India. I'm Chakravati. I lived for a very long time. This guy has formed 3 empires. He's done everything pretty much crazy. I haven't disinherited any son at all. We have a special bloodline. I've done a legend, and yet I'm only 4 out of 5 legitimacy. I am barely a true leader in the eyes of my vassals, which is just ridiculous. I think they very much need to fix this legitimacy thing right here. I don't know why the gap between 3 and 4 and 4 and 5 is so fucking massive, but it's pretty crazy. Like, I understand the benefits are strong. makes vassals want to be less in a rebellion against you. But I think there should just be a different way of them scaling this. Because I feel like I've declared 1,000 wars, did 1,000 feasts and pilgrimages, which all increase your legitimacy, by the way. So in my head, I should be maxed out, but I'm not. Like, I'm not there. Also, I feel like it should be judged more on your ancestors hard. If your ancestor has 0 legitimacy, it doesn't affect you at all. I feel like if your ancestor has 0 legitimacy, you should have low legitimacy. Or if they have high legitimacy, you should pick it up. But mostly it just resets per character, and I don't like that at all. And if you are low legitimacy, it's just like not having enough court grandeur, boys. It fucking sucks. But other than that, I really do like diseases. They added in even new buildings for Legends of the Dead. Hospices, which is now pretty much a main building you should always run in your games. So boys, how am I gonna rank the last DLC? It is the newest one, so unfortunately it still needs a bunch of work. I think the potential of Legends of the Dead could be an A or an S, one of the two. But in the state it is in right now, I have to put it at a B. It almost may be a C, but I'm gonna be generous and put it at a B. It is a core expansion. It is literally less than Royal Court, so you cannot say that Royal Court is better. You use more of the mechanics in Legends of the Dead. I do a legend pretty much every time now, because you need a legend now to get your legitimacy up. I just think that it's really not as bad as people picked it as. But yeah, boys, that is pretty much my rankings right there. It seems I have a preference towards flavor packs and core expansions. It's not like I don't like them, or expansions. It's not like I don't like them. I just don't think they polish it up nearly as well. I feel like for these ones, it feels like they really integrated it as part of the game, and it felt like they almost belong there. Whereas Royal Court, it kind of really takes you out the game. And so does tours and tournaments, and you guys know what I'm talking about. Is when you're in the camp, it's really weird. You like go to the tavern, it's just like a weird like screen overhead. And as I stated before, I don't think the event packs were bad, but they're just not needed in the game, and it should be honestly free for these ones, I believe. But yeah, boys, that is my tier list. All personal opinions, remember that. Don't get too fucking mad at my personal opinions. If you want to leave your opinions in the comments, then go for it. I will read them, and I will take in a lot of what you said. And perhaps I missed certain stuff that were added in with these DLCs. But if I missed something that was added into one of these DLCs, then it really wasn't that good anyway, or it was added in for free, so it really is not that big of a deal. But yeah, boys, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. I'll see you.